New cars have become ridiculously expensive, and moreover the engine options aren't that great, the build quality is not that great, and overall the product is not very desirable. That's why if you're a car enthusiast in India, we recommend you to go into the used market and get something nice for yourself. This over here is a 2015 VW Jetta TDI Highline, and this is one of the nicest, most value for money sedans that you can buy in under 10 lakh rupees. And let me tell you why this should be your next sedan or daily driver. Pop the hood of this Jetta and you will find the 2-liter TDI engine. In stock, guys, it makes 140 horsepower and 320 Newton meters of torque. And usually when we tell people that if you want to go on your modification or tuning journey, you should always choose the petrol. But in the case of the Jetta, that's not really true, because if you want to tune your Jetta, you have two options in terms of engines. You have the 1.4 TSI petrol and you have this 2-liter TDI diesel. And surprisingly enough, the 2-liter TDI is actually the better engine if you want to go on your tuning journey. You have turbocharger options, you have intercooler options, downpipe options, intake options, the whole lot you have with this engine. And moreover, this is the better engine to tune as well. If you do the right amount of mods and if you go on a stage 3 tune, this thing can make roughly around 200 horsepower. Moreover, you don't have to worry about the gearbox braking. Well, this does get the DSG transmission, but it isn't the DQ200. This has the DQ250 6-speed transmission, which is pretty robust and pretty dang strong, even if you're modifying the car. Moreover, this engine also is very, very efficient. If you're on the highway, you can easily get above 20 kmpl, and even in the city, it's pretty smooth and gives decent fuel economy as well. Overall, a very robust and reliable engine if you know how to take care of it. On the inside, the Jetta is pretty dang luxurious, is the word that I would like to use, because it does feel very premium, it feels very plush. The interior looks very elegant as well. You don't have flashy screens or touch sensitive buttons or anything of that sort, which makes it look like a modern day car, but whatever you have works pretty dang well and is very simple to use. Now, if you're scared that the Jetta might not have the latest and greatest in terms of tech, let's be realistic, you just want Apple CarPlay and Android Auto nowadays. Fret not, because there are a whole bunch of infotainment system upgrades as well. This particular car has been fitted with the RCD340, which gets Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So this thing has the tech that you basically want. Apart from that, you have some really nice looking analog dials for the instrument cluster with a small little screen in the middle, which shows you stuff like your trip data, fuel economy and whatnot. But the interior is very basic, very simplistic, minimalistic, not too much going on, and that's what I really like about it, because you don't have to use a lot of brain power in order to, for example, control your air conditioning or something of that sort. You just have a very simple to use rotary dial. And the Jetta has a really well built interior. That is one of the main plus points. Now, not to say anything bad about the latest products from VW, but compare those products to the Jetta, this thing genuinely feels like it's built like a tank. That's how well it is. I mean, just the door thud itself is so satisfying and so strong that you can instantly feel that this car is made in a completely different era. Let's get on to the looks of the VW Jetta. Now, this over here is actually the facelift variant. So the bumpers are slightly different, the headlights up front are slightly different, but overall it looks pretty similar to the pre-facelift car. Now, if you ask me, if you are going to buy a Jetta, definitely go for the facelift one, because there are a whole bunch of advantages that you get. For example, you get some really nice looking DRLs up front if you go for the Highline variant, and the interior is a little bit more modern. You get a flat bottom steering wheel with paddle shifters and stuff like that. But overall, the Jetta, I mean, I want to say it looks kind of bland, but that's a good thing and a bad thing at the same time, because yes, it might not excite the inner child in you, but it looks pretty dang handsome or pretty dang serious in that sense. So it's a car that is not going to look out of place at your local car meet or at a 5-star hotel. So that is the big plus point of the Jetta. Now, talking about modifications and aftermarket cosmetics, well, this thing has a whole array of things that you can do. You have boot lip spoilers, wheel options, you can get the GLI kit, and yeah, the aftermarket options for this car are endless, just like any other VAG product. Now, in my opinion, the Jetta looks pretty dang nice, even if I just called it bland because, well, let's be honest, it has no flair as such, but it still is a pretty good looking car. And if I were to modify it, I would keep it as it is, probably get it in a black color or rapid black because, yeah, a stealthy Jetta looks pretty dang cool. The Jetta TDI is one of those cars that can literally do anything that you want. If you want it to be an amazing daily driver, it can do that. If you want it to be a very comfortable and no BS kind of mile muncher on long journeys, it can do that. If you want to extract performance out of it, you can do that as well. I mean, the versatility of the Jetta TDI is absolutely amazing. Because of the 2-liter TDI engine, you have great tuning potential and you have an engine which can basically give you 20 plus kmpl on long journeys. It has cruise control, and in this particular variant you get the DQ250 DSG, so you don't have to worry about shifting the gears all the time. And as you all know, the DQ250 is a pretty reliable transmission, especially if you compare it to the DQ200. So you don't have to worry about the transmission braking. And if you are going to tune it, well, as you guys already know, the 2-liter TDI is one of the best diesel engines to lay your hands on if you want to make some sort of power. I mean, this thing can go up to stage 3 with a bigger turbo from the Passat or a hybrid turbo, and you can cross 200 horsepower if you really want it. But of course, the name of the game with diesel cars is the torque, and this thing is very, very torquey. Now, if you start tuning it, the torque numbers go upwards of 500, 550 Newton meters of torque depending on the tune and the setup and everything that you're running. And overall, I mean, this is just such a versatile car. You don't have to think about anything. There's great aftermarket support for it. The engine is decently reliable if you know how to take care of it. And on longer journeys, it's comfortable. You have cruise control, you have paddle shifters if you want to take things into your own hands. And yeah, the possibilities with the Jetta TDI is genuinely endless. In terms of aftermarket support, you get turbos, intercoolers, downpipes, you get paddle shifter steering wheels, you get body kits, you get wheels, you get literally each and everything possible. Now, I know I said that the Jetta TDI is an amazing buy in the used car market, but there are of course some drawbacks, and mainly it's related to the age of the car. Now, this is not a new car, so engine mounts, some stuff in the interior, or just general maintenance can catch up to you if you don't buy your car, especially the Jetta TDI, with proper inspection or proper preparation. Because I'm not gonna lie, if you start looking into the maintenance and upkeep and replacing parts, this, that and all of that stuff, the Jetta TDI can get pretty expensive pretty quickly, and that is of course a pretty big downside. Because I mean, the buying point of the car is not that expensive. You can get these cars, especially the facelift cars, is what you should go for sure. Those cars come for around 7 to 9 lakh rupees depending on the transmission, the condition and the variant. And the thing is, if something goes wrong, or if there is a big problem in the car, the bill can easily go up to a lakh or 2 lakhs pretty fast, and that is a little bit of a concern. But if you do your inspection properly, if you do your checks properly, this thing can be an amazing car to own, which can be with you for a very, very long time. And since it is part of the VAG family, you have a lot of OEM plus customization options. Like I said, you can fit paddle shifter steering wheels. If you don't have the Highline variant, this is the Highline variant, so of course it does have the paddles. You can install the MIB2 or the RCD340 if you want to get Apple CarPlay and Android Auto or into your Jetta TDI. And of course, there are a bunch of other things to do on the outside. If you have the comfort line variant, you can put the Highline lights and a lot of stuff here and there. When it comes to how the Jetta TDI DSG is to drive, well, like I said, the engine is very torquey. The DQ250 transmission is very snappy, and because it's the PQ35 platform, in my opinion, the PQ platform cars handle slightly better than the MQB platform cars. It just feels more planted, it just feels more direct when you drive a Jetta in comparison to an MQB Octavia or something like that. The PQ platform cars definitely weigh a little bit more than the MQB platform cars, and that of course has its own advantages and disadvantages. The advantages is that the car feels planted and stable and very direct when you're at higher speeds, or even when you're doing some maneuvering or corners at some decent pace. Of course, the downside is they weigh a little bit more, so fuel economy, performance and all of those things take a little bit of a hit. But that's nothing to worry about, because definitely the handling aspect of the Jetta makes up for it when it comes to the weight of the car. So let's say you are in the market to buy a 2015 VW Jetta. Here are a couple of things that you should probably look out for. Now let's not mess about. This thing is almost 10 years old. So of course it's going to have a lot of things that are going to go wrong just because of its age. Probably engine mounts, probably the brake pads. So getting a proper pre-delivery inspection, or just an inspection of the car that you're interested in buying, and getting that done is very, very necessary, so that you at least have an idea as to what sort of amount of money you will have to spend to get your Jetta back into proper optimum condition. Now this car has been sold by TDH Classifieds verified section, and this was the first ever verified car that we had ever sold, and the owner is pretty happy with it. And this is a very special car for us in that sense, because it's been running completely fine and the owner absolutely loves it. He's put on approximately 7,000 to 8,000 kilometers in the last 6 months of ownership. Now coming to other things that you should look out for, well, of course, consumables like the tires can go wrong. And one thing to keep in mind about the Jetta is that parts for this thing are not going to be cheap, because when it came out, it was roughly a 20 to 25 lakh rupee car. So keep in mind that the maintenance and the repairs and whatever parts that you need for it are going to be pretty expensive. So like I said, getting an inspection done before you purchase it is very, very important. Here are a couple of more things that you should consider before you pick up a Jetta. Number one, if you're tuning the car, or if you just want a better drive in general, a big brake upgrade is very important. The stock brakes of the Jetta seem very mediocre, and especially if you start tuning the car, a BBK upgrade seems very crucial. Number two, the automatic DSG variant only comes in the Highline variant. If you're looking to pick up a Jetta, the DSG car is definitely the one that you should be looking out for. The DMF on the manual cars are notorious for wear and tear, especially if you start tuning them. And if you get a manual Jetta, the DSG will feel faster as well, because the manual Jetta has taller gear ratios, making it feel a little bit slower when you're accelerating. The Jetta also comes with dual zone climate control, and it has access to the boot from the rear center armrest. The Jetta springs are also pretty different. If you remember, the Laura TDI also has a very similar setup as to what this Jetta has, but the suspension and the springs seem to be different. The Laura was very floaty and all over the place, whereas the Jetta feels compliant and stable whenever you need it to. The headlamp washers on these cars also seem to go bad, so definitely get that checked before you pick one up. Body parts of this car can be expensive, but the mechanical parts for this car are in sync with cars from 2015, which cost 25 lakh rupees. So if you're going to buy a Jetta, I would definitely suggest that you go for the 2015 plus cars, because the facelift cars get a lot of newer stuff on the inside. And when it comes to the sort of price that you should be paying, well, I think so the market for 2015 Jettas and above are roughly anywhere between 7 to 10 lakh rupees, depending on the number of owners, conditions and kilometers. Coming to kilometers, do not worry if a Jetta has over 1 lakh kilometers, because these cars are built to last. So a 1 lakh kilometer driven Jetta is basically starting its life right now. That's how you should probably look at it, because if you look into Europe and stuff, these cars do 5, 6, 7, 8 lakh kilometers like it's nothing. So don't worry about the kilometers, get yourself a Jetta. And if you don't want to go through the hassle of inspecting a car, finding one, and then, probably replacing some parts, maintaining it and all of that stuff, well, you don't have to worry. contact us on the number displayed on the screen. That is our TDH Classifieds number. Send us a text of what sort of car you're looking for, and most probably our team will be able to find that car for you, and you can have that car in your garage in no time. So contact us on TDH Classifieds and probably we can help you buy your next car. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let us know in the comments down below what you think of the 2015 VW Jetta TDI Highline DSG. That's a pretty long name. Let us know in the comments down below what you think of it, or if you would go for some different sort of car. Till then, I'll catch you in the next one.